Alrighty then, we can go ahead and get started. You nervous?
Awesome.
I'm sure you do a lot of
No,
interviews.
I'm not very nervous. Yeah, I've had a lot recently, so
Yeah, I talk to a lot of people and they're all like, "Oh, I'm nervous" or whatever. It's like, just be yourself.
yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Heck yeah, heck yeah. And so, first question that I have off rip is just how you got into music, artistry, and things like that. What kind of sparked that go?
So this is kind of a funny story, but a lot of artists get introduced to music through like their family or, like they grew up on it. I actually didn't. Nobody in my family plays an instrument, sings, is like musically inclined at all. So really the way I got into music was I just kind of fell in love with it, and I fell in love with, listening to music and then just starting to sing. And my mom was like, hey, you want to try doing this a little bit more than just singing in the shower? And I was like, yeah, I do. And one thing leads to the next, and now this is all I do.
Definitely, definitely. And excuse me. And so, could you kind of talk about performing in front of Robert Kraft? So, little backstory on me. Before I even got into journalism, media, the whole nine, I actually played football. And so,
Oh, that's sick.
yeah, and so I actually played up in the Canadian Football League for a little bit,
Wow.
and then ended up coming down to work in journalism. But when I saw that Robert Kraft had kind of heard you sing and gave you an opportunity and whatnot, can you talk about that experience?
Yeah, that was amazing because I was so young. I think I was 11 years old when I first sang for the New England Revolution. I won a contest to do that when I was really young. And then I sang for them. And what I didn't know was that Robert Kraft was there. And I guess he really liked it. And he asked me to sing for the Patriots. I think it was that same year. And that was such a cool experience, being like a little girl, and just, that's one of the first big things you do, and then it's like, oh, he noticed. So yeah, that was amazing. And I got to do I got to sing at Gillette Stadium 3 times because of that. So yeah, it was really, really fortunate. And after that I did other sports teams like the Celtics, Boston Red Sox, NASCAR, and that was kind of where I began in music. And eventually led to doing, I don't want to say real music, but like, recording music and performing places that aren't just like the national anthem.
Definitely, like it was more of like it was less of a hobby and more of like a career now. It was
Exactly.
taking off, and so
Yeah.
I found that that's really neat. You starting off young. Just reading about you, it was like everything is just kind of like clicking for you. It's like it just started off natural and
Yeah.
you just kept progressing. And so um I've seen also how your music has been in, a couple of movies.
Hmm.
You've kind of kickstarted it into what, acting now a little bit.
Yeah.
So can
I'm
you
doing a little bit of acting, yeah. Which
can
is cool. I'm
also,
sorry, what were you
I
saying?
was saying, can you that was funny, we were going back and forth, but can you basically talk about, how that shift has been and how that opportunity opened up?
Yeah, so I did, in this business, it's like a piece of everything. Like you really just have to get your hands in everything in in entertainment. So I was working on the soundtrack for this Lionsgate movie, Burning the Dolphin, and I did that in 2018, I believe. And the team was just really great people, and I guess they kind of just liked my personality and liked who I was, and they wanted me to play a small role in the next movie. So I have a role in Burning the Dolphin 2, as well as I did the soundtrack. And yeah, that was incredible because acting wasn't something that I necessarily was like looking to do in a career, but I'm not gonna complain, and I had really fun doing it.
Definitely. And so, excuse me. And so, can you now kind of talk about, your music career is basically taking off, is elevating.
Yeah.
can you talk about some of the people that you've met, people you've been able to collab with, and we'll get into the naughty by nature after this. But can you kind of talk
Yeah.
about some of the collaborations that you had with people and people you've been able to meet?
Okay. Big celebrity wise, did I did a lot. I actually met one of my idols, Alessia Cara, a couple of times. I have performed alongside Chainsmokers, Max, Noah Cyrus, uh, Dua Lipa, BB Rexa, Backstreet Boys, Marshmello. The list really goes on, um, but collaborating with, I got to collaborate with Jeff Timmons from 98 Degrees when I was really young. I think I was 13 or 14, probably 14. And he was the first person who really got me like in love with being in the studio and enjoying my craft, so to say. And yeah, I mean, he's a great guy. And eventually after Jeff, we did quite a project, and that was amazing for experience wise in the studio and working with him. And I started working with KG from Naughty by Nature, and ever since it's just been incredible in everything that I hoped for at this age.
Definitely. And you're what, 17 now?
Yeah, I'm 17.
And you've already been exposed to a lot of stuff that a lot of teenagers cannot say they've been exposed to.
Definitely.
The big question that a lot of people always have is what is the industry like? Is it a lot of people say the industry is fake. A lot of people say the industry is welcoming, and it seems like the opinions are different from everyone. And so, for a teenage
Yeah.
girl, what would you say the industry has been like for you?
See, this is a hard question because everybody is so different who you meet. I remember being like really little getting into it, and when you're really young, you can't identify fake people from, people who genuinely want to look out for you very well. And you kind of have to learn as you go. And I've met a lot of people who um, aren't there for you as a person, or just there for the money or the clout. But you just really have to meet and identify the people who are really going to be there for you, and surround yourself with that group of people. And that's really my team. Like KG, Marcella and Tramp, and all these people that I'm working with now, they're the type of people you can really tell, like, they're there for you, and they're there because they love doing this. They're not there for the clout, the fame, any of that, which is so refreshing. But there's a lot of good people you meet too. Definitely. Yeah.
And it's so crazy. I hate to call you young because I'm not even that much older than you, but it's like it's really good to see young people identifying things like that.
Yeah.
People who are just there for the money, people who are just there for the clout, because it's a lot of stories where people fall into the wrong hands, and their career ends up getting trashed because they're with the wrong crowd. And so
Definitely.
you talk about your influences with KG and Vin. Like, can you talk about how you ran into them and how that whole
Yeah,
progress of work came?
absolutely. Yeah, so my manager Billy I've been working with him for, God, 5 years, since I was 12, and he has been friends with KG for a long time. And I love telling this story because I think it's funny, because I feel like everything works out just the way it's supposed to. When I was 12, I was supposed to go into a meeting with KG, but something got mixed up, and the schedules just got mixed up, and we ended up not being able to go meet him that day. Fast forward a couple years later, I went and saw him at his concert. I think it was the I Love the 90s tour, and I met him for the first time, and then I think about a year later I started working with him, and it was so amazing. I mean, it was just like, I don't know, you meet those people, and it makes sense and it clicks. That's exactly what it was. And we got in the studio and we made these dope songs that one of them is already out, and well, two of them are out, but yeah, I mean, yeah, and we've just been working together ever since. And working with KG and Vinny is incredible. They took me to the VMAs this year. That's like one of my dreams. Yeah, they took me to the VMAs, and I got to walk the red carpet at the VMAs. And they did the finale at the VMAs, and I got to watch them do that. Like, you don't get to do that as a senior in high school. Yeah, and they let me open up and be a part of their mixtape tour with New Kids on the Block. And I got to perform at TD Garden again, but at a sold out show, which is 2 shows actually. But it's just incredible working with them, and they're great people too, which is not something that you get to see all the time.
Definitely. And so you mentioned, you guys have a couple songs out.
Mhm.
So what, as far as you, like what are some newer songs that are out right now, and what are some new projects that people can look forward to?
Yeah, so I just released 2 songs, and they are called Whatever I Want and Phenomenon. And I released the music video for Whatever I Want. That's on my YouTube. And I just filmed a video for Phenomenon, and that's coming out super soon. Me and my mom had to sit down in front of a TV and watch it like 18 times yesterday. So I'm so sick of it, but it's a really good video shot by my friend Cisco. And for future stuff, we have so much music coming out. We recorded probably 8 songs in the studio throughout 2019, 2020. And it's all coming out this summer, as soon as school starts. And I have a song called Alert that is coming out very, very soon. So to keep up with that, everyone can just go to my Instagram. I got updates all the time.
Awesome. And where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Nicole Michelle Sings, and I think my Facebook is just Nicole Michelle, and my YouTube too. But Instagram's really where I connect with fans easiest.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Instagram is like the go-to. You can do everything on there.
Yeah, that's our generation, and then our moms are all on Facebook. Yeah, and everybody younger than us is on TikTok.
Right. Oh my God. That's like that's our Vine when
Yeah.
popping.
Yeah.
Before we close, can you just explain in your own words for younger generations, in even older people who are trying to get into the music industry, what are some tips that you would give them?
Okay. This is always hard for me because I'm like, I almost like feel like I didn't like try to get in the business. I just kind of like, I did what I was loving and I ended up here somehow. But honestly, I would say you really have to put in the work. And if you don't love it, don't do it, because there's so many aspects of it that you don't understand before you get in the business until you're in it. So you really have to love it. And one of the best tips that my mom actually ever gave me is that if it's not fun for you, don't do it. So, I mean, obviously there's steps that, you're going to take that aren't going to be fun. But as long as like you're having fun, everybody else is going to have fun and feel it. And it's worth it in the end if it's fun.
Awesome. I think those are great words of encouragement and tips.
Thanks.
Yeah. And so that's all the time that we have. Is there anything else you would like to add or say? Shout outs?
Oh, I would say just shout out to my team. They've been working so hard, and it's really working out. So shout out to Illtown Sluggers, really.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Good luck to you with your future endeavors.
Thank
You
you.
know, hope everything works out for you, and keep grinding hard.
I appreciate that. Let me get your Instagram so I can follow you.
Awesome. Let's see. You ready for it?
Yes.
All right. It's Malik Wilson TV.
Got you.
And
Thank you so much, Malik.
heck yeah. Yep. I'm about to tag you in this. It's a boomerang that I did. So,
Oh,
but yeah,
sick.
good luck to you. And hopefully we get in contact later on, and
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
things keep going well.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
And I hope you have a good 4th too.
Yeah. Same to you. And stay COVID